Hello and a happy new year. It is January 2026. Well, it's late January recording this. You may have noticed I haven't done any videos this year, or haven't done any for a while. The last one was sometime last year. That's because I've been sort of busy doing my own things and doing this job as well. But I did do some recording late December last year as a new concept project, and I was going to start maybe bringing it up. I wasn't really sure whether to do it or not anyway, and I realised I hadn't done a introduction video, which I was going to do, and realised I needed one. I was kind of tempted to sort of bin the project altogether, and maybe start again with a different one, but actually decided maybe we'll do it anyway. It does have some bits missing. One of the days I forgot to do footage, etc. So that's why I thought maybe I'll do it again. But actually I think I will just do this one anyway. So this is the introduction video. As I know, it's a bit delayed. I'm sitting in Plas Pencathli at the moment, waiting for a school group. Pick them up, take them back to Salisbury. If anyone don't know where Plas Pencathli is, it's about 15 miles west of Abergavenny. Might be less than that, but that area anyway. Anyway, it's not on about that job today. I should do a video on Plas Pencathli one day. It is on my to-do list. But anyway, so what is this new concept video, you may ask? Well, I thought, I've done videos on single days. I think we've covered tours and private hires and bits like that. But I haven't done a video on a week's worth of work. I don't know if there's many videos online covering this sort of thing anyway. The idea is just to show you a working week, just to show the variety it can be. Don't take it as this is what we do Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday every week. Hours do vary, depends on the season as well. Let's say this was late December, so it's fairly quiet, but it's still a mixed match of jobs, so you get the idea, and just what variety can be like. And yeah, if this works, this might be a new concept going forward. I might just show different. I'll pick a week. Could be random, could be something I think you might think is interesting, and have that as a way forward. The way this would work though is that there wouldn't be many driving scenes per se. Some of my videos of quite a long driving videos show me driving and different angles and stuff, but obviously this being a week's worth, I don't want to make it too long. I want to cram a week into about half an hour, if I can manage this, maybe under an hour. I don't want it too long. Don't want to bore everyone to tears with details of each day. So obviously a lot of things will be missing, like showing what I do in the morning before I go to work, and detailed book round-trip. We don't need all that, every day. We've covered that before. So it just gives you an idea what a working week can be like. So let's get this project going. Let's start the music and the voiceovers. Hope you enjoy this video. Thank you. So we start on the Monday, although I'm actually getting up the day before, or just midnight on the Sunday. Not leaving the house just yet, though, having a very, very early breakfast and just chilling about for a bit, and then getting ready and getting into my car at 1:05, off to the yard. And the yard, put my card in at nearly 22:02, and then doing the manual entry. After this, the procedure now, straight away doing the walk around check inside and outside, and of course checking the engine bay for oil and water levels as well. So popping the radio on, not being a Scrooge, but Christmas songs isn't going to keep me alert this morning, so popping in on my favourite radio station to keep me alive on the way down. And so our journey today has got on to that. We are running empty to Taunton. So before we talk about the route, I thought I'd show you this, the One Network site. Just Google one.network maps and you should get something like this. This isn't a paid ad, by the way. This is just showing you something I use and you might find useful as well. It just provides real-time information, so you can find out about any current roadworks going on with traffic lights, or you can find out about road closures as well. Just showing a couple of examples here. So it's especially useful if you're travelling through the night. You want to see if there's any night road closures going on at the moment, and how long they might go on for as well, for future planning. Yeah, so I checked the route to Taunton. It was all clear, so took the route I wanted to take down, which is just down the A350, across the A303, and then onto the A358 into Taunton. Nice, easy, clear run, especially this time of day. So getting to Taunton, it's just gone 20 past 3. I'm about 5 minutes away or so from the school that I'm picking up at, but parked here just so I could have a 15-minute break in case I needed it for later on. That way when I go back to the yard, all I'd need is a 30-minute break. So just parked in this bus stop just out the way, because there's another lane there for cars to go past. Not that there's many cars obviously at this time in the morning anyway. And then from here picked up the school and took them to Bristol Airport. A very easy run, which involves just going up the M5 to junction 22 and then onto the A38 and into Bristol Airport. Nice easy run again. It just took over an hour to do. So we got to the airport at 5 and loaded the bags, and they've gone to check in for their EasyJet flight. Just doing a walk through, just check they haven't left anything on board, any valuables or anything like that, because obviously once they've gone, and they'd have to wait until the Thursday when they come back to retrieve anything. Nothing left on, it's all good. And then just checking my tacho to see how much driving time I've got left. You see I've done 2 hours 25 at the moment, so essentially I've got 2 hours to get back in something that would only take about an hour and a half. So leaving Bristol Airport, Bay 2, this is the very first time I've been to Bristol Airport in the coach. Never went to the old layout. This is the brand new bus station, which is on a high level. Future reference, anyone's doing Bristol Airport, it's actually bays 9 and 10, because you have a permit that you book beforehand that lets you into the barriers, and it does actually say on the paperwork use bays 9 or 10. Of course I've read everything apart from that bit. So when I came in I just did a bit guesswork and thought, I don't know, I assume you can just pick any bay, but no, it's actually bays 9 and 10 for private hire coaches. So just reference for anyone that's doing Bristol Airport that's not been there before. It's a very easy setup as well. It's actually probably the easiest runs in terms of where airports go. You just come off the A38 roundabout and immediately you see signs telling you which colours you need to follow. Bus and coaches like a dark green. As soon as you pass that sign, it tells you to get in the right hand lane for bus and coach, and you come up this slip road. Use the lane that's on the right there. And you go through the barrier. As I say, if you've booked the coach park, it will recognise your plate and the barriers will open. It's cheaper to do it in advance anyway. It's £20, or on the day it's £30, and they do have a right to refuse you, the website says, as well, if you're not booked in. coming down is simple, as you've just seen there. You just come down the ramp and you're on the road straight out to the A38. I need to be in the left lane, I've just realised, but I'm just triple checking that the car left of me there is just holding back, and then waiting for it to safe to move over, and then just turn left at the roundabout coming up here. On my way empty back to the yard. So the easiest route, especially this time of day, is just to go up towards south of Bristol. Use the new, well, it's been there a few years now, but the link road that goes past Hengrove up to the A4 and then into Bath. So pulled into the bus stands on the Ambury at Bath, just so I could have a stretch. That was all. Didn't need a break, as you can see my tacho is fine at the moment. Got enough driving time that will get me back to the yard. Just did the belts while I was here as well, and just checking in for any litter in the tables, etc. But it was all clean, it's all good. Okay, last leg now, back to the yard. Should only take about 40 minutes or so. Nice clear run through here, past the bus station and the train station. On a normal day, see this is usually queued up down here, but obviously this time of the morning, nice clear run, have greens all the way through as well. So from here it's just a run down the A36 to Beckington and along through road up to North Bradley. Did pull into the Chow garage to fill up as well. I did have a clip of that somewhere, nothing special, just a clip showing me at the garage. Seem to have lost that clip, don't know where it is, so skip that bit. So back at the yard, just waited for the school coaches to go, and then I could get onto the toilet drop. And just drop the toilet while it's free and fill up the water tanks as well. And then once I've done that, move a couple of coaches around, park this one up, and that's that. That's my day done at 20 past 8. And now time to go home and go back to bed. So that's Monday. So Tuesday, and today is morning and afternoon schools and a school private hire in between. So getting up at 5:30 this morning, and once I'm ready, on the way to work, pulled into the Yarnbrook garage to get a coffee and also get some lunch as well. Had this sandwich and crisps and a Whisper bar I didn't really intend on getting, but because I got the sandwich and the crisps, it was cheaper because you get the meal deal rates to buy a chocolate bar, so ended up with a chocolate bar and saving £1 at the same time. Bonus. So getting into my coach that I have today, and it's the Irizar i4, the 71-seater. That's because the school run I'm doing is a 70-seater run, and the school private hire I'm doing is also a 70-seater hire. So putting the card in, doing the usual in the manual entry, and then do the walk round check on the outside, and then the inside afterwards. So after doing the school run, now running empty to Devizes. Well, just north of Devizes actually. We're just here, it's going through Pottern, so we're on the A360 heading towards Devizes, and then just going to run through up the London Road to my next point to start my private hire, which is a run through to Tidworth. So there are a couple of ways to get to Tidworth. The more direct route is via Rushall and Uphaven. It's a bit of a twisty and bouncy route, so when you've got schools involved, it's always worth considering those that might have travel sickness. In my case, I did have a handful that did suffer from travel sickness, so I opted for the more smoother and probably more straightforward route to Tidworth, and that was via the A4 to Marlborough and the A246 down via Burbage. It was an extra 3 or 4 miles, but journey time wise really would have been the same going this way, so that's the routes took there and back as well. Now Tidworth, where I went to, I couldn't park there. I was told to go to the coach park, and to be honest, never been to Tidworth before, didn't even know there was a coach park there. Yes, it's here, it's actually just on the side of the leisure centre. So there are 4 bays here. I went on the end bay, tucked over to the left as well, just in case some other coaches turned up. But as it was just me parked up. I was here from about 10:30, 11:15, I think, thereabouts. So just sat in the coach, didn't go out or do anything. It's a bit too damp and cold outside. Just had a early lunch as well. And then at about 12:15, had a phone call to say that they were ready. I was a bit surprised because didn't think they were going to be out till 12:30 at the minimum, so that was good, leaving a bit earlier. And then headed back towards Devizes, the same route that we took in, and that's going via Marlborough and the A4. So, dropping off at about 1:15, now heading off to London Road in Devizes, just to lay over for about 20 minutes or so, and then I can take a steady drive down to the school, ready to do the afternoon school run. So after the school run, headed empty to the yard via the Yarnbrook garage, fill up the coach, ready for the next driver tomorrow. And then back at the yard, gave it a brush through, did all the seat belts. Yes, that's all 71 of them, that does take a while. And then mopped the floor as well. And that was it. So we are booking off at 5:20. And then that was Tuesday. And Wednesday didn't do any driving at all, had the day off. So took the train to Bath and the bus to Salford because I had a dentist appointment there. And then same reverse, bus and train back home, and that was Wednesday pretty much. Okay, and Thursday is back on the road. This time it's morning schools and then a private hire in the afternoon with the Thameser. But first, for the morning schools, I have to use the C25 CCT again, because I'm on the route C3, like I was on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And obviously this route has to be the 70-seater. And then put the card in, and then do the manual entry. It will automatically bridge the gap from when I put the card out last, the day before on the Tuesday, and obviously the menu comes up with bed as it is anyway, so just need to keep pressing yes, okay, and then it stores that entry. And then do the walk round check inside and out, and then it's off to do the school route. It's not the longest route we have, but it does take a good hour to do from start to end. And then get into the school at 8:30. And what we do at the end of each and every run, this morning and afternoon, is do a quick walk through, just to make sure everyone is off. You're not going to convey anyone back to the yard. and that there's no personal belongings left. You know, sort of not just hats and gloves, but sometimes it could be bags, sports bags, and you know, coursework or whatever, etc. And then heading back via the BP garage to fill up the coach again. So back at the yard, after coffee, doing a bit of yard duties, also doing some shunting about like here, where we had a couple of vehicles to go on the toilet drop. My Temsa is the back, and that needs digging out, putting vehicles out in the wash, and basically putting vehicles in some order or when they're going out as well. So with the Temsa not beaten out on the road today, doing some first use checks. It's basically just another walk around check, just check it's all good to go, the lights will work and all that. Just checking the inside first before I do the outside properly. And then after this, headed off to Roud with my colleagues. Roud is just the other side of Devizes, you see here on the map. And then from here we went to the Hippodrome in Bristol. Drops by the We the Curious. And then headed off to park up at Cumberland Road, which is near the SS Great Britain Museum. So we didn't really do anything, it's too wet to go outside, so we just stayed in the dry. We're only here for a couple of hours anyway, so sat inside, had some lunch, and then near the time they called us to say that they were ready. We did leave it a little bit late, because Hippodrome is an absolute pain, especially when there's other schools there as well. I absolutely hate the Hippodrome. Because the problem is outside you can only fit an absolute push on the bay outside, so you can imagine when you've got sort of 10 schools there, it's utter carnage. So we went as a convoy though to Anchor Road, which is around the corner, and then we all parked there. My colleague who was in front there set off first, and then he called me when he was about to leave so that I could leave Anchor Road and go around to pick up, and I'd do the same for my colleague who was behind me. Luckily all the other schools been and gone, that's why we sort of delayed our departure a little bit. I have done it where I tried to be there on time before, literally couldn't get outside, there's too many coaches in the way, and then you're pretty much stuffed when that happens, so I had to go all up to the bus station, double back round through the centre, past the Hippodrome on the other side of the road, carrying down Anchor Road to the roundabout, and double back up again to the Hippodrome. Oh, that was a nightmare. So, after picking them up, it was just the same route back to Roud, and then that was it, empty back to the yard. And then once parked up in the yard, got the extension out, got the hoover, and did some cleaning. Then there we are, finishing at just gone 7:10. And there we go, and that was Thursday. So Friday, getting up at 5:30 again, and then leaving home at the usual time. So today's vehicle is the Mercedes Turismo BN17 HZW. If you watch this channel for some time, you may remember this used to be my coach before the Temsa. So today it's half schools day. It's the end of schools this year. So doing the school run this morning, put my card in just before 7, and doing the manual entry, and then setting off on the C4 route. And at the school again, just doing a quick check through to make sure there's nothing personal belongings left on, and make sure everyone's off the coach as well. And then me and my colleague headed off to Devizes Coach Park to lay over for a couple of hours, since we're going back to the school for midday. As I say, it's half-day schools. So here it's where I forgot to do a bit more recording, although as I say, it was only a couple of hours missing anyway. We walked up to Devizes Town Centre and went to the Shambles, to the cafe in there, had a full English breakfast, and then headed back empty to the school. And then the last stop, just doing a check through again, just to make sure everyone is definitely off, especially just checking that no one's on for the last stop either. There wasn't, so managed to finish the stop early, which is always a bonus. And then just driving empty back to the yard. After this, back at the yard, park up this coach and then get in CT25 and put it on the toilet drop. Most of the coach was clean and ready to go for tomorrow, which I've got this tomorrow. Also more on that shortly. And there we go, finishing at 4:20. So that was Friday. Okay, and on to Saturday, getting up just before 7:25. And after getting ready, headed off to the yard, took this picture, which will be the main picture for this video. It looked quite nice, to be honest, with the sunrise light in the background there. As you know, we've got CT25 today, so getting into that and doing the usual manual entry and the usual routine, walk around, check, and all that. And then once that was done, I headed off on the road, setting off to the pickup points, but going to Yarnbrook Garage first to get some diesel and to get a coffee and lunch for later on as well. So today's job is taking a local rugby team down to the Swanage and Wareham ground, which is just east of Wareham town. This is the route I took down. It's just down the A350 all the way down to Blandford Forum, and then cut across down to Beer Regis and into Wareham. Now the entrance to the ground is quite interesting. It's on this quite tight entrance. I did this in one go. You have to get a bit close to that white pillar there that's on the left and try and drive towards the hedge. You can't see it on here. They've got a height barrier now, which is in the hedges off on the right. You just get really close to that and you can just clear the white post. Does help when you haven't got any mirrors as well. So getting here for about midday or thereabouts. And once unloaded, got everything off, reversed back into the overflow car park area, which is where we park out the way, and then had some lunch and just waited till the kick-off time, which was about 2, because there's no floodlights here, so they kick off a bit earlier, and went to watch the game. I usually watch the away games when I'm on these sort of trips. And pretty much a tough game overall. Swanage and Wareham are pretty much top of the league. So yeah, it was really tough. And as you can see, this is the final results: 48-7 to Wareham. So back at the coach and got about an hour's downtime or so. And when there is downtime, I've usually got something to do. So in this case, I've brought my Airliners to Europe book with me because I've got some sightings logs I need to add to it. So just doing that, something to do. And then after that, we headed back to Trowbridge. Just bring up the same map I used before again because it's the same route back. Just obviously northbound, just going up through Beer Regis and then the A350 up towards Trowbridge. So there we are, just having a check through, make sure there's no belongings left on board or anything, and looks pretty tidy as well. They do spend a good 10 minutes sort of cleaning up after themselves as well. They are pretty good for that. And then heading back to the yard. Normally I'd go do the toilet drop or diesel if need be on the way back, but being the Christmas holidays are starting, as of Monday there's no schools or anything, so it's just yard duties on Monday, so I'd do it on Monday in this case. So there we go, finishing at 8:20, and that brings an end to this episode, covering this week that I've chosen. Again, sorry for the delay. I know this was done a while ago and it's taken me a while to bring it out. So yeah, hopefully there'll be more of these types of videos. This might be the way forward now, just having various types of these random week videos. They do take a lot of work. There's, a million clips to sort out, but yes, we shall see. And anyway, until then, I shall see you on the next episode, and thank you, take care, and goodbye.